Hello friends, today I am back with another video on Power BI DAX formula, and today we are going to see very basic formulas, DAX formulas. Seems basic, but there are some tricks and there are some consideration you need to keep in your mind before using them. So today we are going to learn basically count, count A and row count. But before we start, let me remind you there are primarily three data types in a table. First one is, let's say, number. The second one is, let's say, text. Then we have one more data type in our table is, third one is Boolean. And these function, what the function we are going to learn is like count A. Primarily they behave differently on these different data types. For example, if you talk count A, and then we have count rows, then here we have count rows. Okay, so when we apply count function on a number column, it ignores all the empty cell or null value. It ignores all null, empty. When we apply the count function on a text, it ignores null, but counts empty string. It doesn't work on the Boolean data type. Yes friends, it doesn't work at Boolean data type. If you talk about the count A function, okay, when we talk about count A function behaves same as count on the number column, When we apply a count A function on text column, it also behaves the same way as a count. It ignores empty cell, but it ignores null, but it counts empty string. It supports Boolean, but it ignores null and empty both. Count rows, it takes table as parameter. When we use count rows, it takes table as a parameter and it counts all the rows available in that particular table, irrespective of how many rows or cells are empty or not. Okay, so these are the basic things. Let me show you practically what I mean. Okay, so before that, let me show you my data set. I have a small table which has a number column, employee ID, name as a text, age, and then we have active employees as a Boolean data. So let me show you the practically what I meant there, right? Let's start one by one. Here in this formula, DAX formula, I'm just counting the employee ID. If you remember, the employee ID is a whole number, right? And if I show you again the table, employee number has one empty value over here, right? See, so total rows in my table is 1 2 3 4 5 rows are there, but it is counting as a 4 because one of the cell is having null value or empty value. And text, let's see, the name is having the 4, again one column is empty column, right? So again it shows as a count as a 4, and as I explained, it doesn't take Boolean column because my active employee is a Boolean data, right? If I show you here true false Boolean data, so it is throwing error, so it doesn't take Boolean as a parameter. Now let me show you one thing. Text ignores null but counts empty string. So let me put empty string into my data set. So this is my data set. Let me put one space here and one space here. Let me save my data. I will refresh it. Now see, count is the remain for the number column, but it changes for the text because I put one space, empty space there, so it is counting empty space as a one number. And here, as I explained, it doesn't take boolean, so it's not taking boolean. If you talk about the count A, same as the count, it is counting the number irrespective of whether it is having null or empty string. It is ignoring both. So my number column is having just 4 values there, right? It's giving as a count 4, but the name, it has 4 values and 1 empty strings. It is counting 5. Count A. Count A, what is count A? Count A boolean. It is boolean column. Now the count rows. The count rows, let's see what is there in the count rows. Count rows is just taking whole employee table and counting all the available rows inside the employee table. It doesn't look into details of each cell and all, which cell is having empty value, which cell is having null value, right? It just blindly counts all the rows available in your table. Wherever possible, we should use count rows if we want to know how many rows available in the table. You know why? Because we don't know which column is having a null value, which column is having empty string. So to avoid any accidental mistake, I would recommend, even Microsoft recommends, use the count rows. I hope I was clear enough to make you understand. Thank you very much.